Boom, baby. Boom, boom, baby. It is a Wednesday night. It is a Pontificator night. I am RT Bear. I am coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. If you don't know, I'm a 40-year comic book veteran. I have been working in this wacky industry for a long damn time. And we got a great show for you. I think we're just going to BS our way. We got a few topics that we're gonna talk about, but nothing really big happened this week. So you're gonna have to bear with us. So just as always, I ask of you, show me a sign of life. Oh, just as I said, sign of life. We got Citizen Ronan in the hizzy. So hail everyone. Hail to you, Citizen Ronan. Comic book Bob. What? We got Marcus. What's up, Marcus? Wait, Marcus is saying hi to Citizen. You guys don't even need us. You guys got your own show going on already. Yeah, a lot of craziness happened in the last 48 hours, but nothing really groundbreaking as far as comic books. So we're just going to try to entertain you the best we can. We got a full house here. So without further ado, I'm going to start introducing the Pontificators here. We got a blast from the past here. We got, oh my gosh, I dig this guy every time he's on a live stream. He hasn't live streamed in probably a year with us, but we're happy to have him back. He's always in the green room, so he's always got a presence here. Writer extraordinaire, Todd the Wolf. What's up, brother?
Hey, Art. So nice to be here and join the Pontificators again. Take that writing, wordsmithage to out here to everybody. Yeah.
Well, you always have great insight on stuff, no matter what we throw at you. So, looking forward to that. So, without more further ado, let's get the man with the stripper pole, the man in the storage unit, the man, the Death Raider, Mr. Death Raider himself, inker extraordinaire, now storyteller. He's going to floor you with his storytelling abilities, Mr. Rob Hunter.
That's me, and I'm not in the storage unit tonight.
I know you graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Did your wife let you out of purgatory?
I moved my Wi-Fi tower so I could iPad from downstairs.
Okay, so the storage unit's still there, but
oh yeah, that's where my computers are and everything. So
okay, where's the stripper pole now?
I took it down. And now it's been disassembled. I hurt myself. I'm getting too old for the stripping, so I finally had to admit, after the last accident, had it
just a quick stripper pole story. Okay, so these people are actually famous, but I'm not going to drop their names. And so we're over there celebrating Christmas. Their daughter's friends with our daughter, and they grew up together. And so you're just doing the normal, like, what do you get for Christmas? What do you get for Christmas? Like, all of a sudden, even adults are like kids, And so then, I almost said her name. She brings us upstairs. She goes, I'm going to show you. And so she brings us upstairs into their bedroom, and her husband had installed a stripper pole in the bedroom. And so I'm like, okay.
You're just kind of waiting.
Yeah, like is there going to be a show? Like, is this it? Like, it's a fucking stripper pole. What do you want me to say?
That's what, without the stripping, it's a fireman's pole without just anywhere to go.
There you go. Mm-hmm. And my wife, always very astute and very, very funny. She goes, was it a present for you or for him? So anyway, this is my brown brother from down under, and I know it's not accurate, and I know it's not PC. I don't care. I ran it by him. He signed off on it. Just brilliant animation. He's a storyteller. He did the High Octane Black and White story, which is amazing. He created Tropical Magics and Mr. Pay, bro. Eng.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
My brother from down under.
Yeah, I don't live in Australia, man. And with the show we have today, even less. I'm not from down under.
Well, we do have a story from down under.
We do.
It might involve a transgender person with an axe. But
yeah, typical.
With
This is
an
a pontificator topic. Yeah.
what'd you say, Todd?
He said typical. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, this next guy, oh my gosh, Mainstay Comic Books. He's been around the block. He's been around long enough to get schnookered, which if you're in this industry long enough, you will get schnookered and you will get ripped off. So this guy had a major contribution to comic books. Actually lifted for the last Batman movie. Is it called The Batman? I don't know. I never saw it. I was advised actually not to see it by my own daughter. She knows I'm a big Batman fan. She's don't see it. And now I know why. And this isn't the reason the movie was bad. I heard that the best parts of the movie were the ones that were written by Mr. Chris Wozniak, artist, writer, storyteller extraordinaire. How you doing, man?
Hey, so I'm not taking any blame for that movie.
No,
You shouldn't.
but I heard that the Riddler stuff is the best stuff in the movie. So
Yes, as I wrote it. It's the
because you wrote it exactly. Is there anything to update? And if you answer yes, let me introduce this last guy first, and then you can get into it.
Not a whole lot. Same shit. DC suing me.
Okay.
To take control of the story. Yeah.
Well, let's introduce. Last but not least, we could not do this show without this next guy. He likes comic books. His name is Bob, and I don't know what else. He loves wrestling. He loves the ladies. He loves this show. He loves Comicsgate, and he's a talented mofo in his own right. When he decides to draw on his live stream, which he doesn't do very much anymore. Mr. Comic Book Bob, what is up?
Oh,
Dude.
I'm just here to, soak up the love.
We love you.
Oh,
Bob.
Oh, no, not you, them.
So
Is
very-
this
Oh.
gay?
So
Is this
very
gay if
fun.
I do this?
Yes.
I can't even do it. Like I'm
Just,
fucking it up.
just a little bit.
that looks like a liver. All right, they're doing like a liver.
It's a liver.
Is Art having a
It's
stroke?
liver, yeah,
Art's trying to do gang signs.
it's like a kidney. I don't know.
It's a kidney shape.
What's
Well,
well,
it's good. Yeah, it's good to have all you guys. We're just gonna bullshit our way through 2 hours. I
Yeah.
got a couple loose topics. If you guys have anything you want to bring to the table, feel free. And we'll just have a good time. And everybody in the chat, this is very interactive, so feel free to throw stuff out there, even stuff you want us to talk about. We'll figure it out on the fly and we'll get into it. This is very interactive. I look forward to this all week. Let me see who else we got. We got Past Master Dan. We got Mr. Von Stugel. More Bandmade, please. Is Bandmade? Is that? No. Is that metal Chinese or Japanese?
no,
girl
that's
band?
baby metal.
Baby metal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those chicks are like
Which
coked.
that band is actually pretty badass.
The band is, but those chicks are
Oh.
coked out of their minds, man. They're like moving like fuck, like
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, like that whole like cutesy plus metal thing gets on my nerves. Like,
yeah. But the
It was-
music's pretty badass.
yeah,
But
it
the
is.
like
It was hot for about a minute.
Have you heard Dead Panda?
Dead Panda?
Yeah, it's the guitar, the guy who played in Megadeth and moved to Japan, and I'm blanking on
Marty
his name
Friedman?
now. Marty Friedman. He made a metal band called Dead Panda. It's like a band playing metal and 47 chicks singing.
47
Yeah,
chicks singing?
and it's as annoying as it sounds.
Why,
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds pretty awful.
why
Yeah.
47?
I have no idea.
So Blue
Thank you very much,
Boy
Blue Boy.
Blue Boy sounds a little well, I'm not even going to say it because it's not very nice. Hey, Rob, great to see you here tonight. Hyped for your book launch. So, Rob, do you know who this person is?
No.
Well, you
No.
do now.
I also the last one was I do know because of the last live stream I did. It's Michael Jackson's Thriller video and song.
Oh,
That was
Michael.
yeah. I'm really bad with music. I don't even pay attention to the lyrics of CDs that I own. So whenever those
CDs.
CDs.
CDs
I think he meant to say illegal downloads of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Art, how do you know? Art, are you spying on me?
I spy on everybody. That's how I'm on top of the game right now. Yeah. But anyway, I was going to introduce Blue Boy. Blue Boy, meet Rob Hunter. Rob Hunter, Blue Boy.
Dude, what's up? Blue Boy. He has a purple shark for.
He's got a purple shark.
Shouldn't he be Purple Boy? Or purple shark?
That would be Purple Shark. Yeah.
Purple Shark.
Marcus says, "Hail Waz." Ooh, the Waz. Hey, we got Danky Frankie.
Hey, what's up, Donkey?
Mr. Danky. What does he say? We are wondering why Art thinks Australia is in South America.
Yeah, I'm wondering that too. But hey,
come on, like behind the scenes, Pedro's all like, "Yeah, you can call me whatever." It doesn't matter. And now, like that we're live streaming, he's all getting uppity.
And that is called a trap, Art.
Oh my God! You set me up, you son of a bitch. Danky says he loves America. I do love America.
I think he's talking about Bob.
I think it's Pedro.
Oh, Bob loves, Bob. Well, we all love America except for Pedro. He loves Australia.
Hey, come on! I love America, even when you bomb us.
My favorite part of the short is Waz New York accent. It sounds like home.
I don't have an accent.
I don't have an accent.
Of course you don't.
I don't have a freaking accent.
Everybody talks like Robert De Niro where I come from.
Kick your freaking ass.
I don't know what this is. Say love bug. I don't know what that is.
Is that for who's it for?
Say it
I don't
like,
know, but there's
like a metal voice.
There's a couple love bugs in here.
Yeah.
A Blue Boy chimes in again. It's not that gay, Art, but I'll take you to dinner. Oh shit, yeah, man. Hell yeah. I don't care. I'll go gay. I'll go gay for an evening for a free meal.
Dude, that's cheap.
That's cheap.
Dessert.
Wow.
I am a cheap date.
Fit right in with Hollywood then.
Hell yeah. I'll sell my soul for $1.
I'll
sell my soul for a steak dinner.
Joe Biden wants you to listen to your phonograph on a wax cylinder.
Or a wax cylinder.
What is this love bug shit? What is this?
I have no idea.
Oh, dude, I'm blanking on the name of that guy. Famous director, Citizen Kane guy. He was making fun.
Rosebud.
Oh, Rosebud. It's Rosebud, no Lovebug. Sorry. Sounds similar.
So love bugs
Sounded
to
similar.
people down under sounds like
Orson Welles is who you're
talking about. Orson Welles?
Orson Welles.
The Rosebud sounds like love bug.
Yeah, it was Rosebud.
Down under.
Rosebud from Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. Yep.
I don't know.
My bad.
Okay. Well, hey, we got Joe M. Suntag. We miss you, brother. We miss you on the show.
Yeah.
So hell to you. What is this? Art's gonna play it fast, and I always play it fast and loose, my friend. That's my MO.
Yeah.
We got Bud 66. We got a full house here, man. It looks like we got a show.
Nice.
We got an audience now, you guys. Don't
Yeah.
get stage fright. Don't get crazy. This is gonna go good. We got a full house here.
We make all these structured shows and like 12 people show up. Like we don't have nothing, and everybody's like, "Hey, let's entertain us, man."
We ain't got nothing.
We don't really have a show. Yeah, we
And
don't
do
really
some
have a
card
show
tricks.
Yeah, we don't have a show prepared. I was in the band. You're still in the band, Joe, but you've been demoted to triangle. But you're lead triangle player, so you can ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
If this was a band, I'd be the roadie.
Oh, come on, Bob.
I'm the guy that stands at the door.
Nah, you'd be the lead screamer.
Oh, Brian Bevins wants to love Art.
What?
Sounds bad.
It's like lead singer, but it's like like lead screamer.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Rob, how old are you, Rob?
I am 32.
You're not getting any of
100?
this stuff. You're not. Oh, hey, we got Brian.
It's
Ryan Lovebug is. Oh, it's Mandy Summers' tagline, but Mandy Summers isn't even in here.
No,
Is
not
she?
really. Yeah.
Wait. Joe Biden wants to listen to your pornograph or wax.
Phonograph.
Photograph.
I want to listen to your pornography.
The pornography, say, on a wax cylinder. Yeah.
I want
I
to
got
listen to
my
your
top-
pornography.
My
Smell your
top
hair.
secret pornography.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, you guys, we've been critiqued on this show that we need to shut the hell up when somebody's talking.
Yeah.
We just talk over each other constantly. Okay.
Hey, Clint's not here.
Bub says, I love Mandy. Yeah, you and a lot of people.
Yeah.
Bob is the guy that gets to ban the chicks.
Oh, you do? Sweet.
Dude.
Hey, Rob, you're going to have to install that poll real quick. Come on.
Handing out the backstage passes.
Go. Wait. Oh my gosh. Blue Boy says Art's the funniest old guy creator in CG because his jokes are always shockingly dark. He's the real Zodiac killer. Okay. Well, do you guys want to start with this white savior shit, or you want to start off with this axe wielding transgender?
Let's axe.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That's like that. I kind of feel like that should be our closer, man.
That should be our closer. All I have is this. I don't have a real
Shocking
news
video.
article. I have this.
I got the Dark Horse, the White Savior thing pulled up.
Yeah, let's start with
Wicked
White
Fool.
Savior.
Well, I have the white savior, but it was the axe wielding transgender.
I got
psycho.
that. I got that
But
pulled
it's
up.
not the white savior.
It's not. That's not the white savior.
That's
No.
not the White Savior I want.
I've got the axe thing pulled up. If you want me to put it up.
Okay, so we had two axes, so there's 4 other people here to vote. So you guys want to do the axe or the white savior?
Axe.
3 axes.
There you go.
All right.
That was a mango.
Is that
Axe.
4? Is that 4 axes?
Yeah.
4 axes to the 2 non-answer. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Brian. Let me see. Okay, we're all caught up. Wait. What is this?
Yeah. Let me
All right,
axe you.
Let me ask you a question. Oh shit, we got Willie Draws Axe Cop. Oh shit, it was a cartoon show called Axe Cop, right?
Axe Cop. Yeah.
Didn't it start as a comic? Started as a comic.
I
Yeah, it
think
was a
you're
kid.
right.
A kid
Yeah.
came up with the idea.
What was it? With the guy's little brother would just start a story and it'd be super nonsensical, and he would just draw it. He'd write it down and draw it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
And that was a comic book, and then it was a cartoon.
I don't know. After this article, the cops in Australia might want to start carrying axes. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Present. And let's check this article.
Art's not a robot.
Did I go robot?
Not yet.
Oh.
Did I go robot? I am robot. Hello. Okay, so this is full story update. What the hell is this? Okay, a drugged up transgender woman splits a man's head in half with a battle axe at 7-Eleven.
Okay, I'm confused. Transgender woman.
Shit, here's the video. Watch this.
No,
Wait, you guys
it's
see
a
this?
dude, man. It's a man, baby.
So it's a dude with
Watch
long-
just walking in with this freaking thing in their hands.
dude.
It's like, eh.
Oh my gosh, just looking
I need a
for
Snickers.
victim.
And this dude was like, "What the?"
I
heck?
I see that.
That guy's
I'm
gonna
out.
get whacked.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Why didn't you fucking leave, man?
Exactly.
Like this dude's like, "Is this real?"
Oh,
He's
shit,
laughing.
Oh,
It's crazy.
fuck. Oh, no.
Never
This
turn
is
away.
funny?
Don't turn
You
away.
think this is funny to you, huh? You think this is funny?
Yeah.
Only in Australia, man.
Oh.
This
Oh,
is
no.
unreal.
Oh no, dude.
There's a ghost
That's
walking in and out of the.
Oh,
Keep an eye.
shit.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck!
dude.
You see the blood? Oh
Yep.
my god!
She got the dude on the outside, got right in the back of the head.
Fuck.
It's
See,
like,
That's why I'm
Look at the blood.
I'll tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, this is
Oh, right in the face! Holy
Yeah.
fuck!
In Florida, someone would have already pulled a gun on that chick.
Yeah,
Dude,
it would've
and
been
then
like-
she walked in the gas
they
station.
would have been shocked for a few seconds. I mean, that was like, wow.
Oh my
man.
gosh!
Does anybody
like
know if he's
that,
got
yeah, see the blood? That guy's covered in blood right there.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
can you guys stomach it again?
Jeez.
I was gonna say that dude was pretty, but now
And that's not a battle axe. It's just like an axe.
It's,
It's
like,
not
it's,
a
it's a
fire
weird. It's an
yeah.
axe with a weird head. is what
it looks
is.
like a fireman's axe.
It's
No,
the fireman's axe.
Yeah, it's one of those axes that's got like the two little wedge things on the side to like.
Oh,
Mhm.
splitting. It's
for splitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it did its job. Look at
Yeah.
this guy. He's kind of taking it like, oh, this is funny, man.
He's just like, what's going on? He's like, yeah. You're
But look how
you're scared.
casual. Watch how
Yeah.
casual he is afterwards. He just walks away like it's like
That
nothing.
dude's got a nice ass, though.
Oh my god.
What the? Are you trying
Well,
to
it's
get
been
dinner?
nice hanging with you guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get dinner.
Oh
Mhm.
man, I wish I had. Oh fuck, no! Oh shit! Ah!
Damn.
Okay.
My god!
Now, and you could tell though, because the blonde person, when she walks up, has that attitude saunter, like
Yeah.
I'm looking for some trouble.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
And
guy. That
You
gets
notice
up
when that dude that they went after at the beginning, that's the dude that they walked past that they kind of like bumped shoulders a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like,
But
yeah,
that
that was
guy
definitely
that
someone
gets
looking
up-
for some shit.
Wow.
That guy that gets up at first, after he gets whacked, he has no idea
He's
How
in shock,
hard?
man.
how
He's in
hard he
shock.
got hit.
Yeah, let's
No.
not play that again. Let's not.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you sure?
yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like what?
They don't even bump really into each other,
No,
but
not
that guy
really.
knows. That guy knows something's going on.
So here's an update.
Yeah, there's an update. Like the guy's in the hospital. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I don't know if he's
Okay, well
alive,
here's
Yes.
but,
here's the full story update. So River City Post. Well, see, he is a
look at that bundle of joy.
Jeez.
A meth
Jail's
up
term increased by 5
transgender-
years.
Okay, a methed up transgender splits a man's head in half with, well, it wasn't in half, but with a
Mhm.
battle axe at 7-Eleven. What the hell's all those?
Nice
Okay,
cars.
there's the photo we saw.
Mhm. More
The
cars.
Crown appealed in Court of Criminal Appeal today, set it aside from imposed sentence of 14 years with a non-parole period of 8. Only 14 years. What's all these metal cars?
Yeah, dude. This is dented murder.
Security
Yeah.
camera vision captured whatever this person's name is, 2-kilogram axe to hit Ben in the face, and then Sharon Hacker in the back of the head inside the store. Mr. Rimner is buying a meat pie, and Mrs. Hacker was buying milk. Like that really even matters.
Yeah, it's very relevant.
That
Oh.
second person was a woman. It wasn't a man.
Yeah, got hit in the
Wow.
back of the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Rimner's nose eye socket and cheekbone required reconstructive surgery. While the blow that hits, he fucking got up. That dude was
Yeah.
a bad ass, man.
Chat.
What I was gonna say is like, I've been hurt really bad before, and what happens is the adrenaline hits, and
Yeah.
you have no idea how badly hurt you are. Like when that guy gets up, you can see the blood just shoot out of his face.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He had no idea how badly hurt he was. While the blow that hit Miss Hacker fractured her skull. Oh, look at this psycho. Medical staff said that Mr. Rumner's facial laceration was a millimeter above where it was. It could have had saved or had life-threatening consequences. So I guess it just hit him in a good place, if there is such a thing. So I guess he didn't lose his eye. Outside court, Ms. Hacker said the original sentence did not reflect the severity of the crime. Now, at least, there is some sense that there will be a chance for her to repair the repair the emotional problem, she said. Although jail isn't the perfect solution, it's a better solution than being left in life that you're not happy with.
Yeah,
Well,
basically, she's talking about the lady who got hit in the back of the head is like some bleeding heart, and she's saying that because I guess the transgender lady said that the reason why she did it is because she went crazy from being like assault, attacked, and antagonized, and all this crap.
By who?
Like, just I mean, she's it's the victim thing.
Yeah.
Life is hard, so I'm gonna go kill somebody.
Yeah, the decision brought her closure, and she felt like she could get on with her life. Hacker, thick dreadlocks cushioned the blow to her head, but she suffers from shooting pain down her arm, chest. There was a shit ton of blood too, man. That chick was hit hard.
Man. Saved by Rasta.
That's bullshit. Lawyer had asked the court to reject the appeal by citing the progress she has made in custody and the antagonism she was suffered from female inmates due to her gender status. Why was she in with females? She's just gonna start raping all those women.
Paraded dick.
Inmates due to the gender status. They actually put her in with women?
Yeah.
They're doing this now. It's insane.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, they're in Australia. Whatever happened to Dead by Koala? Was that a thing?
Oh, it's so cute.
I could see that happening. Yeah, koalas are heavy.
Koalas are evil, man.
Yeah, dude.
Why was she
the thing is, this person's psycho, whether it's a man or woman, and you put this psycho, which, well, you know what? I'm gonna retract that. Is a man.
It's a man, baby.
This dude is gonna just rape every one of those women that he's in custody with.
Well, even if they're not like sexually, like going to sexually assault them, they attack someone with a freaking axe.
Yeah, dude.
They're
trying to kill
shit.
two people. Try to kill two people. Why didn't the cops just drop her? Drop him, her.
And they only got 5 years out of this.
You know, and Art says psycho, but this is really something that's going across, the world, not just Australia. That's the dehumanization of your common man, right? Yeah. And what we're seeing this all over, and people always ask and say things like, "Well, why do you carry?" Right? Like in America, there's this whole aspect where we're now over 25 half the states have allowed constitutional carry of firearms. Why is this? Well, because protection is necessary, and this just proves why protection is necessary. Wherever you go, it doesn't matter where you live. You can say, I live in a nice neighborhood. That looked like a nice store. Those two other patrons there look like nice people. They're going out their day. They're getting their Miss Max meat pies. And then what do you know, bam, some disaster just befalls upon them.
Well, we were joking before we went live. I think we were joking before we went live, where we were saying like knife somebody, like in the face. That's personal. Anybody that can slam somebody in the face with an axe, there's no redemption. That person's fucking nuts. That's not the drugs. That's none of those things. That person is fucking nuts and should never, ever be in civilized society, ever. That's an animal. That person is a monster. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Right in the face. That guy was right next to her. Like, just right in the face.
They had a conversation almost.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. He probably said, "Hey, what are you doing after the show?"
Yeah.
He asked her out. That was probably it. He asked her out. And
the thing is, I guess they actually got 8 years total. What it was is the reason why the extra 5 years was when their lawyer tried to get them out because of the supposed gender status BS, but then the acting justice was like, nope. It was like he's like the sentence imposed significantly failed to reflect the criminality involved in the responses off it offenses, so they added 5 years on.
Yeah, the thing is, like, what does Virginia Taylor has to do with an axe swing? Like, that's what I don't get.
Here's the thing, though, man.
It's swing.
They put some stank behind that swing.
Yeah, dude. I saw the swing. That was with intent. There was no hesitation. Yeah. There was no fucking holding back. And just to that point, she didn't just hit that guy; she hit the woman too.
Straight to that second.
That's equality.
Unprovoked, completely unprovoked.
Well, that's equality though. So he hit males and females. So at least there's that.
Hey, you know, yeah, it's a equal opportunity psycho.
Equal opportunity psycho. Yeah, just
well,
awesome.
Somebody needs to drop some truth. I think that person should never see the light of day.
Nope.
Like that's psychotic.
That's pretty far gone, man, to do that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you can say, "Oh, methed out," but that goes beyond meth.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
What about death by wombat? That's another cute animal. They have
No,
Cool.
They have
Australia, man,
claws, though.
you lock them in a room with a kangaroo that hasn't eaten
Kangaroo.
in
Oh,
like
yeah,
five-
dude.
in like a week.
Have like those like jacked up kangaroos drown you in the river like they do dogs.
Go find the most diesel kangaroo you can find.
Yeah, dude.
The freaking Lee Haney of kangaroos.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Pedro, for a guy that doesn't live down under, you sure do know a lot about
Dude,
Australia.
I love National Geographic art. Okay. I used to collect the magazines, and when the channel came out.
Yeah, everybody knows the rest of the world is exactly the same.
Pedro's educated. Yeah, but those kangaroos, man, they're oh my gosh, they're like I didn't know that they rear back on their tails and their back, they're like claws, like Wolverines, and they'll gut you. They'll gut you.
Kangaroos don't mess around.
Yeah, dude. Australia, it's a
everything in Australia is designed to kill you.
So, all right, Bob.
Even with transgenders.
Since we're doing freeform, see if you can find a kangaroo, like a human being attacked by a kangaroo.
Did you see the guy who punched a kangaroo in the face? That's an old video, but there's a video of a guy who just straight
the kangaroo.
Yeah, but then I saw that before I realized that they could gut you. Because like if you're stand up like that guy was like, I'm gonna stand up, fight this thing, thinking those boxing kangaroos like you grew up with, like, oh man, that'd be fun to box a kangaroo. But all they have to do is rear back. How are you gonna defend yourself against a rearing back that's gonna hit you low right in the abdomen and just rip your innards
There you
out?
go.
Before that guy gets there, I think the kangaroo has his dog in a headlock.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Kangaroo
This is awesome.
Oh, this is the other one.
Dude, it would have been funny if it was an old bouquet. Oh,
Okay, hang on. Let me go back to the beginning. There we go.
Oh shit!
His kangaroo squares up and this dude's like, "Bring that shit." Oh my god!
Dude, that guy missed the swing. Who was too eager?
So the cliff got him.
Here's another one.
Right?
Oh, this one's even better. This is the one with the guy he's going after the one that attacked his dog.
Oh yeah, that's the best one, man.
it's like what, bro?
Boom.
What, bro?
What's up?
Yeah, he hits him. He's like, oh shit.
Oh shit! You got checked, man.
Yeah, but look at how open his.
Everybody has a plan until they got punched in the face.
Until they get gutted.
He's like, pull up, bro. Pull up.
Kangaroos.
There's one where the kangaroo's trying to drown the dog too.
Yeah, it's that one. That's
This
what
one,
they do.
yeah, he's running up to because it's got his dog in a headlock. See?
He was going WWE on him.
Yeah.
It's Greg and Kalen.
What you get for talking mad shit, bro?
Oh my god.
You know how cool that would be to be able to tell that story? Like, I punched a fucking kangaroo in the face and I got it all videotaped.
Oh
That's
my god.
awesome. Is that the guy that punched
like
him?
I
Yeah,
survived.
but this one's better, man.
I like this rise and vicious kangaroo attacks.
Kangaroo is evil, man.
There's one in a cul-de-sac that I've seen, and that's when I saw the kangaroo rear up on his tail and start like kicking at the guy.
Did you see this one? This one's like, I'm coming for you, man.
Yeah, it looks funny, but those things.
It was like the whole gang of them over there, man. It's like, man, we're gonna come over there and beat a plug out your ass.
Those things can kill you, man.
Dude.
I love that. I love this one. He's like squaring up with him. He's like, come on.
Yeah, like, come at me, bro.
Come at me, yeah.
You're cute. You're cute. Your mama's cute, motherfucker. Come here.
Like,
Oh,
that,
Come
one,
here.
that one got him by the hand, man. He's like,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Oh, see, there's
So
the
there you go.
move.
That's the move, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You don't mess with Kangaroo.
Oh,
he
my
picks
God.
up something and whacks him, right? Like,
Yeah, but he
That's
misses.
thick.
Like he
Oh, he
Let
misses?
me see here. We'll try to find another one, man, because that was
Oh, my
too
God.
much.
Yeah.
Man killed in Western Australia being attacked by his pet kangaroo.
A pet kangaroo?
Well, that's what you get for having a pet kangaroo.
Oh,
man.
here you go. Top 5 man versus kangaroo.
Oh. See,
Okay.
this is, I grew up with this shit, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's
Look
fun.
at the size of that thing, man. I mean, that dude's probably a little scrawny dude, but still.
I think that's the Woodman, right?
I don't
director.
know.
Dude, that kangaroo is squaring up. Look at that. He's just leaning
Yeah,
back.
he's-
The way he weaves.
He's like,
Little
I'm about
rubber
to jack you up, son.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're gonna kick him. Look, because that's what they do. They lean back and they just kick him right in the gut.
How long does this damn fight last?
Oh,
Oh, there it is. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, here it comes. He's like, get in there. Come on. He's like, hey, but douche.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that hurts.
That guy's like, I'm done.
Oh,
I'm done.
damn. Oh, here we go.
What
Dude,
the fuck? Is this a
The
regular
level of
thing?
stupidity to do that, dude. Like,
These are like those guys that fight bears.
Oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
god. It's like slapping. Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
Yeah.
see the gut, man.
dude, and those guys get like a keg of Dr. Pepper or something after that.
I like that he just has headgear. I'd have something right on my
Yeah.
gut.
So, Art, the back legs don't have the claws like the front paws do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I thought they had like they had a spur on the back of their leg or something.
No, those are chicken, man.
Well, I know chickens do.
Those
that.
are chickens. How big are the chickens you're looking
I'm
at?
taking a chicken.
Chickens the size of kangaroos.
Oh, hey, here you go.
Oh,
Yeah, but
dude.
can you imagine still being kicked in the gut by two legs?
Ooh,
Dude, how many cases of Dr. Pepper would you take?
There's not
to
enough
kick like
Dr.
that?
Pepper in the world.
Exactly, dude.
Oh,
shit, dude.
you done messed up, son.
You messed with the wrong kangaroo,
Yeah,
fucker.
dude.
Look at him sitting there on his
proves to
tail.
me
weird.
is that the 7-Elevens need security guards that are kangaroos.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
there you go. So is the reason their paws are covered is because they do have the talons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
what
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, but why?
I love you, man. That
Right.
kangaroo's
This-
drunk.
Way too many kangaroo fighting people videos.
I swear to
It
God.
was this thing. It was
This
like
has been
having
going
two
on
chips.
since I was a kid, man.
Well,
Hey, dude.
yeah, that's 80s, 90s. That's 80s, 90s. That's not 2000s. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, this is back in the day.
This guy's
Yeah.
telling you how to take down a kangaroo. I love you, man.
There you go. He's
Kangaroo's
getting kicked.
jacking him.
Oh, he's getting humped now. Yeah.
If that
Yeah.
kangaroo had
Right.
an axe, it'd be all over.
Yeah, dude. Axe
Exactly.
kangaroo. Let's make it happen.
I just want to see one of these kangaroos just put a friggin' beating on somebody.
Ah, dude.
Like that first one, man. That kangaroo squared up with that dude and was just pounding on him.
This is not cool. Like the things, like everybody who's getting pounded by kangaroos here deserves it. So I don't feel bad for
Whoa.
them. And dude, no, that's a wild animal, man.
That
Yep.
guy had some internal injuries.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dude,
they're
he
pretty
caught
fucking
that dude
big, too.
caught that dude in the balls, man.
Oh, they
Yeah.
gagged it so it couldn't bite him.
You'll
Was it
notice
on a
they have
leash?
deer that
It's
way.
on a leash.
It's on a leash.
Oh my god.
Hey, Donkey, it's not that it's funny to fight kangaroos. It's just funny that people think they can fight wild animals. Period. It's just
Yeah.
You
We
don't
don't have
do it,
deer
man.
wrestling for a reason. Because
It's-
deer
yeah,
will mess
it's
you
just-
up.
It's just people doing dumb crap, man. It's like you said, that's a wild animal. And like that one that guy was fighting that was on his dog.
No.
That one didn't have no gloves on his hands or anything, man. That thing could have sliced and
dude.
diced his ass.
I don't mess with angry squirrels. Okay, it's just dude, it's a wild animal.
Dude,
Keep
I
that-
tell you, I
keep
got
that
a
away
scar
from
in
me.
my arm with a friggin' squirrel
Yeah, dude.
bit. Like I talk about biting the plug out of me, and he
Mm.
did that.
Yeah, dude. Screw that.
Like that sucker latched on, and then when I grabbed him, he bit my hand right here, and would not let go. I'm sitting there pulling on this thing.
You're gonna get rabies. I want to ask Blue Boy, why is the kangaroo taller than Art? Like, how do you know how tall I am? Like,
Art's a wee man.
How dare you?
Yeah,
It's a wee man.
He's a wee lad.
man. He's
He's
a wee lad.
He's 3 apples high. You could just keep him in your pocket.
Oh, wait, what is this? I am jealous. My
What?
parents took me to a kangaroo versus midget fight in Vegas when I was a kid.
Oh,
my
Over the
God.
times. Wow.
Dude, you could never. That would never happen today. That would never.
No, this
Oh
was
my God.
yesterday.
Wait,
Everything in
Oh,
Vegas is legal.
Dude,
That's
do
a
you guys
state
remember when they used to
casino.
have dwarf tossing in bars,
Yeah.
like competitions? I went to one of those one time.
Wow.
Dude, when they outlawed that, those guys were pissed, man. Like the dwarves, they were like, dude, you know how much freaking money we were making?
And babes.
And they were like,
And
yeah,
babes.
dude, the one guy, they were pissed.
Yeah. Weren't they getting tips and stuff? People just like throw money at them and stuff.
The one guy said he was making like 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous money, like almost like up towards like $500,000 a year.
Wait. Who was making the money? The guy who
The
threw the
dwarves.
midget or the dwarf? Okay.
The
little people.
because they had they actually turned it into like a legit sport. They actually had teams. They had gear, like they had special handles on them, so that you could get like a better arc on them. And shit. Dude, seriously,
Like
it was
little
crazy.
Like one of those dog holders. Like
Yeah,
for the little,
like you know, like you remember like they had those things for like kids where you could pick the kid up. Like
You're
with
talking
the
about
handle on the
dwarf
back of
tossing?
them. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell the elf.
That still happens down here.
Really?
Not up here, man. They outlawed it because some friggin' Karen got her ass hairs in an uproar.
I mean, it sucks when you miss the target, but it's normal. You go
Dude,
to
if you're gonna pay me
fairs.
10 grand a month, you could throw me up against a freaking brick wall. I've been hitting the
Yeah,
head
dude.
before. I can take it.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what they throw you into, right?
What is it? The suits that they had? They
I
had
think
like
they had like a
Velcro,
big
they,
target.
they had like Velcro and stuff on.
Yeah. You just
and
get
they would
thrown on
throw
the
it, and then it was almost like playing darts.
Yeah.
You know. Dude, seriously, think about it, man. You get paid 10 G's a month, 10 G's a month, to
Yeah,
like
dude,
have
for the
some big
humiliation.
giant burly dude with a freaking
dude.
neck beard throw you into a freaking wall with.
You know, it'd be even funnier is if you had to make it stick, like they had giant like spikes on their heads, and when you threw them, they had to stick into the target.
But and then, they got points for like doing stunts in the air and stuff.
Oh,
Like
speaking of
if
crazy,
they did flips and stuff like that.
oh my
We
god,
do like freestyling and stuff.
Yeah, like freestyling. But then they shut it down, and man, those dudes were pissed off.
You know, the
That's
closest thing
madness.
I've ever seen like that was Wide World of Sports. They used to have the bouncer competitions, and I do remember Mr. T on that.
Yeah.
And they had to throw somebody out of the bar, but it was never a human being. It was like a pseudo, like a stuffed,
like a dummy.
yeah, like a dummy, and then they would grab it, and I guess it was weighed like it would be a human being, like 100 pounds or something, and then they had
They
to
don't
throw
like
it
to
out
be
of the
called
bar.
dummies anymore.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
throw
they're
dummies
not-
anymore.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you can't even
insensitive.
refer to them as dummies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's insensitive.
Yeah, the Karens get pissed off about
Oh,
I
that.
have to go to re-education camp now.
So I actually speaking of Karens, man, there's this account. I thought it was a real account, but it's a parody account. It's called Dr. Anita B. Eaton, PhD,
Okay.
and she's a fat fat affirming dietitian
Oh,
with a PhD in body positivity.
On Twitter?
nice.
Yeah, and author of Snacks Over Scales and Health at Every Happy Meal.
Is that the woman that
Feminist
died?
ally / she her. I thought, dude, I swear I thought this was a real thing.
It was
It turns out it's
serious?
a parody account, but it was.
That's perfect parody.
But there was a real woman. I thought like what she did is she would help, like she had a shop or something, and she would beautify like bigger women, and she'd do makeup and makeovers and stuff like that. And she was like a guru about fat, like big is beautiful and all that stuff. And then she had a massive coronary and died.
Of course. I know what you're talking about, Bob. I just muted her or that account on Twitter because I'm like, I never followed this person. Why do you show me all this shit I've never followed? I don't understand that. That's
You know what it is,
Twitter,
dude. That's the thing I hate about Twitter is that because I use like the filters and everything. They like I don't want to talk about politics and shit, but it keeps showing up in my timeline because if somebody you follow shares it, it just automatically goes in.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is. And I'm like, God damn. He's like, what's the point of the filters then? But dude, share this out. This is the one that basically broke the internet. Obese is the N word for plus size people.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I just muted that. Yeah, muted account.
Yeah,
and it's a parody.
And these, well, that's the thing. A lot of people didn't realize it's a parody because if you look at the name, Anita be eaten. I need to be eaten.
Oh my gosh!
I need to be eaten. So it took me a second because right here's my tweet right there at the bottom, right there. Really, like I just realized this is a parody account. I need to be eaten. I need to be eaten. Well played. How sad is it? We all thought it was real.
The thing is, like this is like the Onion stuff, but at least when you would read the Onion news reports, you knew it was the Onion. But there was always somebody that would quote you at a party or something, and then you just laugh to yourself. You're like, "That's an Onion news. That's not real, man."
Like seriously, like this tweet that she just did right here. Look at this. 421,700 views.
You know what, Chris? We're doing this the hard way. We're actually like drawing and writing and slaving over,
Dude, these people are losing their minds. There are people like losing their minds in this, like this chick right here. Like no, obviously, like no, it's not. And then this person right down here is like, delete this. For obvious reasons.
A man's character is his fate.
But and then like I love this right here is like she's like, please don't tag Elon Musk on my post. I'm on a sex strike until he gets fired from Twitter.
Nice.
But oh my god, I saw that. I didn't really, like I said, I thought it was real at first because it's like, how sad is it that we can't tell the difference? It's like. But
like reality is just as ridiculous as that. That's why I always like the Onion because I mean they were way ahead of the curve, with stuff, and you would read it, but for some reason you kind of always knew, even if you got it out of context. But nowadays you can't distinguish. Yeah.
Well, now they have not the Onion, just because the news itself is so crazy. They can just post it, and it sounds like it is the Onion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Well, we got a few new people in the chat. We got Henry. There's people that are saying so Bud says, I remember seeing Mr. T at the show. So Mr. T,
the bouncer show, yeah.
And then it says, I do it for 5G. What
I asked them like, would they let
Bob?
themselves be thrown like the dwarf tossing for 10G?
I'd let Mr. T throw me for free. Like that would be fucking hilarious. I pity the bull.
Yeah, Art is thinking of his favorite celebrity, Richard Simmons.
How dare you?
That's a dude that went off the deep end, man.
Do you remember when he'd go on David Letterman and he would run down the aisle and he'd have his dolphin shorts up to his...
Dude, my grandmother used to watch that. Remember when he had that exercise show on national television and on prime time? My grandmother would watch that show every freaking time.
Well, he had sweating to the oldies, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, selling records.
Yeah, but he had a weekly show. Mm-hmm. Like a weekly TV show that was like a half hour long or something.
Yeah, I think millions acted like that, being a silly clown.
Well, I think women liked him because he was always like very touchy-feely.
He's their gay best friend,
very feminine, and just very non-threatening, right? So you have Jack LaLanne, this built guy, talking
guy
about
pulling
exercise.
shit with his teeth.
Yeah, and then he swam like from like the Long Beach Harbor to like Catalina Island. Like this guy was a badass, right? Yeah. And then you got this little like Jufrode guy, working out and sweating to the oldies, and
we just got canceled.
To the moms. They didn't call them soccer moms back then, but
oh my god.
I don't know what they call it. So you want to get into this white savior article?
Oh,
This is right up Rob's alley.
I'm appalled.
I'm coming out with a comic book, White Devil.
Ooh, White Devil.
It'd just be about my daily grind.
Yeah, it's autobiographical.
I could actually see someone making a comic called White Devil, and it's just a dude like just going through his life and people giving him shit.
Giving shit for nothing.
Like
It's all
falling
fault.
down, right?
Yeah, like he walks into a convenience store to buy something, and someone's like up in his face. It's like, dude, I just want to get a soda.
Yeah, everyone's super racist to him.
Yeah, everyone's it's like it's your fault. And he's like, bro, I just
with your white privilege, like I work in a call center, man.
dude, it's like, I make minimum wage. It's like you're the one holding us down, you misogynist. He's like,
you misogynistic cis white, whatever.
Yeah, he's a vet assistant, so he takes care of puppies and kittens.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh
I vacuum dog hair, man. Come on.
Okay, so I know nothing about this, but obviously, apparently, this is Dark Horse. One of their new books. So it's a series of 4 books called White Savior. So what is this about, Bob?
Basically,
About a white savior.
yeah. Eric Wynn, co-creator of Dark Horse's newest comic, White Savior, about the Hollywood tropes. The story satirizes the prevalence of Asian stereotypes in new media and the state of Asian representation in comics today. That's a mouthful. That's basically saying white person bad.
Okay, so why is this entertaining? We got to get to that. Like,
well, it's not entertaining for us.
I mean, I'm captivated, but
written by Wynn and Scott Berman. White Savior follows Todd Park, an Asian American film history teacher. So that's he's a high T, who is suddenly sent back in time to Japan upon his arrival. He quickly realizes that the local villagers have put their faith in an incompetent white savior who will surely lead them to their doom unless Todd can stop him.
Oh, I know who that white savior is. Tom fucking Cruise.
Yep.
Remember that movie? It wasn't there a movie where Tom Cruise kind of goes back?
Yeah, The Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai. Yeah.
It's a great movie. Yeah. I have that on DVD.
Hey, this is also a remake of that combined with The Three Amigos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that famous Tom Hanks movie, Last Black Man on Earth.
Yeah.
Starring Tom Hanks.
Well, this all comes from basically the reason he wrote this is you guys remember that movie, The Wall with Matt Damon.
Oh yeah, it's here. It says it all started with that movie, The Great Wall, with Matt Damon came out. Yeah, Constance Wu famously talked about how Asians didn't need a white guy to swoop in to save us. Oh, that's right. There was a Matt Damon movie that was like the Tom Cruise movie as well.
Yeah,
what if a white guy in the movie was an idiot who actually made things worse for people he was trying to save? So this is a comedy. This is a humor book. Okay,
but
that
movies. Matt Damon's character, they had that rock that guy was carrying around, so he just randomly figured out that's why it made the aliens blind or something because of the way that they would see. He didn't swoop in and save China. He found a rock.
That movie blew though. It was a horrible movie.
Yeah, but then they go on to talk about how like comic book characters like Iron Fist or
Iron Fist didn't come in and save Kunlun. He was an orphan.
They're missing the whole point of the idea behind that. That it's not that he's white that is the point. It's that he's a fish out of water. Yeah. He's this dude who shouldn't be there, who doesn't want to be there, who just happens to be. It's the whole fish out of water story. But they equate to the white guy's going to save us all.
Doesn't Iron Fist only fight the Iron Fist dragon to prove himself to his master or something?
Yeah.
What
Shou Lao. He has to defeat Shou Lao and then he gets his heart or something.
And they're talking about how the only white guy in the land of Agents, and of course he's a better martial artist than all the others. And it's not that he's better martial arts, it's that he was just destined to be that thing. it's and it's it's the whole thing where it's like
Yeah,
And
it
the
just
thing
doesn't
is,
make any sense.
yeah,
in the
dude, like, I
comic
don't
book,
know.
the city gets destroyed because of Iron Fist because
Yeah.
the brother of the dragon that was killed, the Iron Fist dragon, his
Yeah.
brother comes back and destroys
Yep.
the city because of
Yeah,
Iron.
that was the Steel Serpent. I don't know. Like I used to read the Iron Fist a long time ago, and I mean I really liked it.
I only
But-
read the last 3 issues.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I never really got that from Iron Fist that he saved the Asians.
No, dude.
It was
But
more like he was orphaned. He got this ability, and then he went back home and realized he had a gift and he could help people.
Well, the whole
Dude, and the lore is really rich. Like he's not the only Iron Fist, and he's like
No.
the second white Iron Fist. But like throughout history, you have like women Iron Fist and whatnot, and it's really cool. There's like an Iron Fist pirate queen. There's like his father, like he like used the power of the Iron Fist in his guns. It was really cool. But then it's like no.
and not only that, but the whole idea behind the Iron Fist was that it wasn't just like
him.
so part of it was to save him as well.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? Because like his life was just completely crap.
Mhm.
But the big problem with this whole thing is that the savior in it's not that the tale like the way he says it is the tale sounds like it implies that because he's not incompetent because he's incompetent because he's white.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem. It's basically an insult on being sold under the guise of satire. Like he
Well,
says
let me back up for a minute. Okay, so this is a guy from the 21st century that goes back to what time in China's development?
feudal China apparently is what he said.
So right then and there, it's kind of like idiocracy, right? Like he would already be probably the smartest guy of the time. Even if he was the stupidest guy.
Well, it doesn't say that the white guy comes from the future. It just says that the guy, the Asian guy, goes back in the past.
So this is against the Dutch.
I don't know.
The first
They don't really
Japan
elaborate
were,
on it.
Yeah, the first people who came into Japan were from Holland. Were the first who were allowed to trade. So is this a Dutch guy? Why did?
So wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, is this guy has something against the Dutch? I'm feeling like really big racism bias here.
No one likes the Dutch.
Yeah, no one likes the Dutch.
I'm not even sure what this is. So it's a guy, like the premise isn't even really clearly stated. They start getting right into the political kind of stuff in here with the representation and all that other stuff. So is it a white guy from our time?
It's a white guy from the past.
Yeah.
So he just goes to China. It's not a time travel story or
Japan.
anything like that.
No, it is a time travel story. The guy, the hero of the book is a history teacher who goes to the past. That guy right there that's holding the sword.
Okay. So is he the white savior?
No, the white savior is the big dude the dude in the red right there on the first cover.
Oh, that's why he's got the arrow through his head. Like
because I'm dumb. and then the dude the spindly little soy boy in the t-shirt with the sword on the second cover, that's the hero.
Okay.
Huh.
So they don't even go against the trope. It's still a white guy that saves the Asian.
Well, no, because the guy who goes in the past is Asian.
He's Asian, yeah. He's an
Oh,
Asian
so the
film
white
teacher.
savior is the teacher is Asian.
Yes,
Yeah.
the teacher's Asian, and the big white dumb guy is he's
But okay,
the
can we just highlight the fact that he's an Asian film teacher, very useful in a feudal battle? Like, what is he gonna do? Like,
Well,
I saw Rocky.
Yeah, I'm also going to yell foul because that teacher does not look Asian.
Well, I mean, that's what he says. But then he goes on like he goes on to talk about
you should be able to draw it better.
he goes on to talk about stereotypes in the comic book industry, and then he talks about
But dude, this happened to somebody. Like he drew the characters Asian, and then somebody like went over and did like the big eyes because drawing Asian eyes and Asian people was racist. This happened like last year.
Yeah.
And
he loses me when he mentions George Takei. So he's like, let me listen. I love Sulu. but I can't stand George Takei. That guy has just become completely insufferable.
Yeah.
The Japanese also created Portuguese.
Shogun was an awesome show, man.
I saw
Shogun, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the whole thing going on there, and it's just basically it's a thinly disguised insult.
Yeah.
Randy agrees with you, Pedro.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, like the Dutch were the first one who were allowed into Japan, so they had to cover their faces with a basket because people were not used to watching other people who were not Japanese.
That was the first lockdown, the first official lockdown. Yeah.
So
it went on for 2 years, and kids forgot how to go to school.
We lost the WAS.
Oh man,
damn white devils! Put that back.
They got WAS.
Dude,
The white devils got WAS.
You know what? Let's do White Devil. I like this idea.
Now he does go on to say one thing that I do agree with him about. He says that what we'd like to see more in commons, Asian characters whose personalities aren't based entirely on them being Asian.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm down with that, and and then using characters that in the past that never got a chance. I'm all about that kind of thing. So
I like that it's a Japanese guy from the future that has to go back in time to save the people from the past. Like they couldn't save
do something crazy and tie these stories together, because when you start looking at cultures like this and putting out stories, comics that just demean one type of person over and over again, and instead of seeing the comedy like I mentioned before, the Three Amigos, and instead you look at how the detrimental people can be to other people, it goes right back to someone who just decides to themselves, I don't like life, I'm mad at everything, and I can go in and hit somebody else in the head with an axe.
You brought that full circle. Congratulations, Todd. That was really well said.
And that's the importance of doing what we do, and taking stories and making it to where you uplift others instead of dragging them down.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. There's so many things. Like, what if you bring like a Japanese? I don't know if you're familiar with the hikikomori phenomena. Like, what if you bring like an incel, a guy who doesn't even leave his room, and you send him back in time to feudal Japan? Like, he will die in a second or just like snap out of it. Like, that would make a more interesting story than this thing. Like, oh, white people are the devil. Like, we see that every day. It's just.
Well, the thing is, the weirdest thing about it is it takes a teacher from the 21st century to go back to point out to these early Japanese warriors that this white savior is not their savior. Like, at some point, don't they have brains? Like, these are fighters. These are warriors. Like, you would know if somebody was full of shit. Like, if somebody came in and started talking comic books to me and I knew that they were liars or they were full of shit, you'd see right through it and you wouldn't follow them. So they wouldn't be the white savior. They would be full of shit. So you're also insulting all of the Japanese people, these, make-believe Japanese people that are in this story, like that they can't figure it out. Like, oh, because he's white, we should listen to him. We should follow him into battle. Like, no, the dude's got an arrow through his head. How can?
Well, there could be a silly plot reason why.
Probably.
Why he like funnels his way into saving the town or something.
Yeah, and I think that's the idea.
Well, like Todd said, like the Three Amigos thing. They see him as the savior, even though. It was some situation that gave him credibility, but he didn't earn it. Some kind of mishap.
It's still
the thing is, like, I don't know, like the Three Amigos like laterally touches my people, but I find that movie hilarious. Like, I love it.
It's your people from down under, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, even the name of the town, Santa Poco, means like Saint Nothing. Like, we have nothing here. Like, they're really poor.
Yeah, the guy who wrote it is also that guy that wrote the Immortal Hulk, and threw what's his name?
Oh shit, Joe Bennett under the bus.
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah, and the guy who he can write. Immortal Hulk was actually pretty good until he got to that point in the story where he started injecting a bunch of identity politics bullshit into it.
So is he a white guy or is he Asian? He's Asian, right?
He's
No,
British, right?
Scott Berman is a white dude, I think.
But who was
I
the
think-
other guy? Nguyen?
Oh,
Nguyen?
Eric Nguyen. Yeah, he's Asian.
Okay.
That's like a Vietnamese name, I think.
Yeah. Scott Berman. Yeah, dude, Scott Berman is like the most Jewish looking dude you ever saw in your life.
Yeah.
Is a
So the guy is like, oh, we're gonna like make fun of the white savior trope by creating another trope, which was like the Todd saw right through instantly, which is the Three Amigos, right?
Yeah.
Or even what was the one Tropic Thunder? It's kind of the same premise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Like whenever I see a story like that, I go watch Blazing Saddles again.
Yeah.
It makes
Only
me feel
Blazing
better.
Saddles falls
Yeah.
completely apart in the third act. Is like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, dude. But I
No,
love that movie,
It's
man.
it's all a movie set, and it's like,
Yeah.
what? They get in their limos and drive back to the studio. That movie's insane.
Yeah,
Never
dude, I
watched
love it.
Okay.
You've
Ever
never
watch
seen
Blazing
it,
Saddles?
Rob?
You have to see it, man.
Well, you better see it
No.
before it gets pulled
Well, but
from existence.
They did it better than Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Oh, love the Holy Grail though. That movie's
The
awesome.
ending of the Holy Grail is almost like the same thing as Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is more chaotic. Like I like the ending of Blazing Saddles better.
Yes.
You know what my favorite scene is? It's like there's a setup and then there's a payoff, and it's the little old lady that she's walking past the guy and she calls him the N-word. And
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my God, it's so left field and it's so hilarious. But then later, doesn't she bring him a pie?
Yeah,
or
well,
something?
Yeah, exactly.
the funny part is she brings him a pie. And she's like, "I'm sorry about the N-word before." He's like, and he goes, "That's all right." I mean, he goes, and of course, you'll be good enough to not let anybody know I did this.
yeah,
exactly.
she doesn't want to take credit for it. Yeah.
yeah. But
Dude,
yeah,
that
you
movie's
couldn't
awesome.
make that movie, man.
No.
Oh wait! This is very insightful. So Danky Frankie says Crocodile Dundee is about Pedro's people.
Indeed.
I knew it. See,
Indeed.
I'm onto
That's
something.
not a knife.
Oh, Nacho Libre was kind of the same thing. It's probably
Yeah, dude, but the
offensive
thing is,
to Mexicans, but hilarious.
Mexican wrestling, it's very Mexican wrestling. Like you only see that kind of wrestling there, so it's really alien to like all the other countries of Latin America see that like, wow, that's very Mexican. You know, it's just like we don't identify with that. So Mexicans might be fuming, and we're always like, you know, like we don't care.
The problem with Nacho Libre for me was like it was trying to be what was that one guy? It was kind of the indie film with the nerdy dude with the liger. What was that? Curly-headed dude. What the hell was that movie? Somebody in the chat help me out. It felt
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite. Thank you,
dude. I could not watch that movie.
No, because it's really slow, but not that.
It's just
it was
stupid.
I know,
dumb.
but so was Nacho Libre. Like to me, Nacho Libre was like it took that kind of theme and the tone from Napoleon Dynamite, and then just put it into this this guy that wanted to be a Mexican wrestler, but it had the same feel, the same tone, and it just dragged on. I didn't think it was that funny either. It's funny because that stuff becomes it's kind of like Seinfeld for me. Like Seinfeld's funnier when you talk about it than the actual episodes to me. So when you talk about Napoleon Dynamite, like it's funnier than the show itself.
Oh, these shows are like that too. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand that show either, man.
Which
I
show?
mean, I like
Seinfeld.
Louis. Yeah, like between Seinfeld and Louis, I prefer Louis. Like,
oh, Louis C.K.
yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, that was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious. But the like everyone's like Seinfeld. I mean, Seinfeld is awesome, and it has.
What
like,
is it
great
about people and airline food?
What is the deal? Like,
Shut
yeah,
up.
But the thing is, you go, oh, man hands. You go, like all this stuff is almost tailor made for just like talking to your friends at a party about it. Because then you go, oh, that's a funny premise, right?
Yeah.
But the actual episode was kind of, it was okay. My favorite thing about Seinfeld is I was completely vindicated. For years when that show was on, I was like, these are three sad people. They are really like just jerk offs, right? And they go, no, haven't you ever wanted to do this or whatever? Like they thought it was like some kind of wish fulfillment. And I was like, no, these guys are assholes,
Yeah.
right? And then at the end, you know, they're videotaping that guy getting robbed or whatever, and then they go to jail. And then I was like, and then everybody was like, that was very unsatisfactory. That was the worst ending, whatever. And I go, no, it was the perfect ending for that show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the end of my time. I gotta head out.
No problem. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Take care, man.
Take it easy, dude.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, take care, Todd. Hope to see you next week.
Sure thing. Yep.
All right, man. Todd always
Oh my
classes
God.
up the show, man.
So,
He
so,
always-
you, so you see, that's how you do it, Chris. You say goodbye. Just
Like-
don't screw.
Have you ever watched that show? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I heard good things. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen
That
an
show's
episode
better
here
than
and there.
friggin' Seinfeld, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just the
Infinitely better.
trailer for the advertising for Sunny in Philadelphia is funny.
Taxi was an awesome one too.
Which one? Taxi.
Oh,
Taxi.
Taxi's too old.
that was
dude.
that's a
Whoa.
little before me, man.
That's
There's one episode of Taxi that stands out for me that was absolutely genius, and it was with Jim Ignatowski. He was what's the actor that played Doc Brown?
yeah.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jim?
So he loses his license for some reason. You know, these guys drive taxis for a living, right? So losing your license that's really bad. And so then he has to take the driver's test again, and they're like, "You can pass it, whatever." But it's, you know, Jim Ignatowski is kind of like, "Okie doke," like he's like drug addled, like he's out of his mind, right? And so he's taking the driver's test, and so those guys are kind of doing the Cyrano thing, and they're kind of like whispering, like, you know, whatever. And so Jim's like reading the questions, like blah 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 blah, and so then the answer is slow down, and so of course they tell him slow down, and so then he keeps reading it slower and slower and slower. And I don't know, man, I thought it was hilarious.
That was the only good episode.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I really like that.
I watched that as a kid. It was always the same. It came out in the 70s, and everyone's broke, and no one has money, and everyone was trying to. It was just depressing. I remember being a little kid going, "This show's depressing."
It was kind of sad. Yeah,
everybody's just working super hard, and the taxis are breaking down, and Danny DeVito's just mean to them.
Yeah, he's just exploiting them.
Yeah. They're all super broke and can't. It's like, you know what it's like, Art? It's like Peter Parker.
Oh, where's Chris when you need him?
Mm-hmm.
See, I have you.
That's
and
why he left.
We're always gonna be
Yes.
tight because of that.
Oh.
Our hate for Peter Parker.
Yep.
Yeah. Love Spider-Man.
Yes.
Hate
Spider-Man's
Peter Parker.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man, the ultimate cuck. Freaking simp.
His poor Aunt May. Like, I'm sorry, she should have been put in a home. Like,
Yeah.
I would not have. I'm sorry, Mom, Dad. I love you, but if you were that albatross around my neck, I would have checked you in.
Can you imagine?
I would have cashed out your retirement.
That's why One More Day pissed so many people off.
Mm.
Because the whole reason that he did that was to save Aunt May, who's like 100 years old,
Right.
you know? And
She's
it's like,
lived her life.
dude, it's like, dude, like when you're that old, your life is pain. It's
Exactly.
constant pain.
Yeah.
So
She
it's
wants-
like, just let
she
her
wants
go
to
with
be
some dignity,
reunited.
man.
Yeah.
No, you got to drag her back.
Yeah.
Like she's like, I can see the light. Ben's waiting for me.
Cool.
It's like, no, Grandma, you gotta come back. No, I want to be with Mom. Oh God damn it! Why are you putting me back in this old broken body?
I saw Ben, and you
I'm
brought
gonna
me
miss your
back.
pancakes, you little bastard.
It'll be like that scene. It'll be perfect, like that scene in Gladiator where, you know, Aunt May's in the wheat field and she just kind of like, you know, her hands
And
on
there's
the wheat.
Uncle Ben at the
And
top
then
of the
she
hill.
sees the light
just waiting
and
for
walks
her.
Uncle Ben
trundling through there with her
at the end of the
walker.
wheat field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
all
you imagine
hunky.
what Parker could do just with the spider sense? Can you imagine what we could do with just spider sense?
Oh my
Not
God.
even all the other abilities. And he
Super
can't
good.
even pay his rent. Screw him. The
I know,
loser.
right? And he's being exploited by Jay Jonah. I'm like, you could own Jay Jonah. You could run that paper.
Mhm.
Like, I know it's like great power comes great responsibility, but I'm sorry, man. That kind of responsibility.
Aunt May has like
My
died or been
responsibility
on
is the
death's
bugle.
door for like 30 years. But
I'm sorry, Chris. I love you, but you're wrong.
So, what do you guys think about
you get for not being here?
Yeah, that's what you get, man.
I like Pedro kicks him when he's down. Boom! Right,
exactly.
right in the face.
Punching down, man. It's not
the South American way.
It's not nice, but it's fun.
Yeah. It's like an axe to the back of the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, too soon.
Yeah.
Is it too soon?
Peter Parker, man, the most popular sad sack on earth.
Oh,
I know. I couldn't stand it. Even as a kid, I knew there was something wrong with this guy.
Poor cunt's like, this is blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
Can you imagine? I mean, the comparison is you have Spider-Man and Peter Parker who can't pay his rent, and then on the other side of the universe or the planet is you have the X-Men and living in a giant mansion and flying around in a private jet. Of course, giant robots want to kill them, but they got superpowers, so they get to duke it out. Their lives are never boring, and you're just like, why would anyone want to read Spider-Man if you could read X-Men? I never understood that. Same is like Iron Man. Iron Man, he's rich.
Oh my gosh!
They have superpowers and a full fridge. That's
and nice clothes. You never. No one's picking through the hand-me-downs at the X-Men.
Yeah. Well, Porkun says, RT Bear, this is blasphemy. Obviously, you're being paid off by Chris Wozniak because nobody here will shed a tear for Aunt May.
So, what do you guys think about the Comixology thing?
Oh well, I heard that the one thing I never liked.
Excuse me for a minute. Hey, Bob, run the show. I'm gonna go.
Was the viewing? It never felt like a comic book, and I heard a lot of people say that the interface got a lot worse. And then, like a year later or a year ago, they finally fixed it, but they just fixed it back to what it was. So they couldn't even get the most basic thing down right. So for it to die is not a surprise, to be honest.
Yeah, and because what happened is, like, when it first came out, everybody was like raving about how easy it was, how affordable it was, and how easy it was to use and go through all these books. And then what happened is remember, Amazon came out with the Kindle.
Yeah.
And they tried to force that into the format of the Kindle. And it just didn't work.
That screwed everything up.
And that screwed everything up. And everybody was like, and that's when everybody started hating it.
Yeah. The other thing is that with this whole like digital Comixology thing, we never saw real numbers. Yeah. So we were just believing what they were saying. And now that we have the big tech bubble burst, which is what's happening, because it's not only Comixology, like everybody's getting fired. Like the masseuses at Google are fired. Okay, they got rid of 12,000 people.
12,000 people, and now Amazon, the people that they're laying off from Comixology are the people that could actually fix.
Yeah, Comixology
could fix Comixology, but they're getting rid of them.
So that's the thing. Like, we've never seen clear numbers from these guys, and now that it seems like what do you call that? Like that investment money, it's getting off, like it's non-existent. Then the only people who are going to survive is the one that render results. So maybe they never heard the numbers. You know what I mean? Because I remember, like, I have my Comixology account, and I bought like 3 comic books. I tried reading them, and I said, "Screw it! I don't want to read these in my freaking cell phone."
Yeah. How you can't even see it.
Well,
Art, do you remember the one check we got for digital downloads from DC?
Yeah, the one check.
One check that Jim said, he goes, hopefully this will be a check twice a year. There's one check and that was it. And I'm like, I remember they like a year or two later going, what happened to those digital download checks? Or, the prices were always stupid. I mean, you're trying to serve 2 masters. You're trying to keep the comic book stores happy, but at the same time, you're trying to release comics on digital. Like, you have to pick, make a choice. Like, I've always said that you tell the comic book stores, this is what you guys are going to sell. You're going to sell trade paperbacks and expensive, really nice hardcovers and all the toys and all the other bullshit you want. But a monthly book, we're gonna sell those for $0.25 online, and they're only gonna be digital. And I've been preaching that for 10 years, and people are like, I want my monthly. They want their comic book they can hold, and I'm just like, no, you can't have it anymore, man. Paper's too expensive. Printing is too expensive. Sorry, if you still like comic books, wait, buy the trade paperback or buy the really nice hardcover.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying on Pontificators for years. So I thought like monthly floppies should be replaced with the digital downloads.
Yep.
And make them very inexpensive. Hell, you could even just do reprint material, like material that's already paid for. You got 80 years worth of material. Just start putting that up, and have it, like you said, reasonably priced, and then have your like basically retail stores are just collectible stores anyway. You know what I mean? They're not really newsstands. They're not periodical. They're not like that at all. They really are they should be high-end collectible shops. So then everything they carry should be, like you said, Rob, like trades, things that are a little higher end, like hardbacks, like foreign, like books from, Europe and different countries, and imported stuff, and, like statues, and just really high-end collectibles. And I think with the limited space you have, you're gonna turn over more dollar, right? Because like you got a $15 book that was taking the place of a $5 book, right, or whatever it is. So then you can get more of those in, and also like what Comicsgate is doing, like we're doing high end collectible, books. So even like those books should be, because they're one of a kind. These are prestige books. They should be carried in those comic shops too. They should be coming to us and getting these collectibles, because they're more rare. What I mean? The print runs aren't as big. Yeah, and they are collectible, and they're high end. These are gorgeous looking books. So I agree with you, Rob. I think the monthly floppies are just too expensive to get into the hands of the average kid, which is the ones that should be getting these books. You can do the prestige stuff for the adults, the collectors, and then use retail stores for that high end stuff. But the digital stuff, the monthly floppies, just have those as downloads.
I really don't understand why WB doesn't have the monthly comic books on the TV on HBO Max, and Disney doesn't have the Marvel monthly comic books on Disney Plus. And there it is, And they're like, well, how would you pay? How would you pay royalty? They can keep track of those sales even easier than comic books. Yeah. You literally would be like, hey, Uncanny X-Men, 1 million people look through the issue number 2 of it. So we are going to pay a royalty to the creators because 1 million people looked at it.
And if they wanted to still do something like a monthly thing, put it in a digest form and go back to newsprint. Peter Cimenti proved that you could do good looking comics with old school technology,
or just wait. You have to wait for every 6 months when the trade paperback comes out or whatever.
Yeah, and obviously Comixology is doing it. They're cutting people checks. It would be easier to keep track of sales if it was digital than shipping books out and doing all the other stuff, because it's only one source. So it's like you have one computer, and then you're putting everything up onto a server, and then every time it's downloaded, it would just register it, keep track of it. It would be easier to do than actual physical copies to keep track of sales. And I remember I did talk to, maybe it was Comixology at one point, and we were gonna do Chrono Mechanics, and they said $0.25 a download. I don't know what it's up to now, but and I don't know what they were charging at the time. Maybe it was $1, something like that. But I don't know what the breakdown is now. Talent versus, what the server charges or gets. Do you know that, Rob? What the breakdown?
Well, I know that Apple charges. They charge just to host 50%. So who knows how dumb a deal Comixology had for that kind of stuff.
So if the book went for $1, then it was a 50-50 financial split with.
Yeah, and Apple does that with the music. And I heard that when it came to iTunes, all the record companies did these really super shady backdoor deals where they have interest in the Apple iTunes, so that they negotiated really shitty rates for their artists because they knew they were going to profit. So who knows if the same kind of thought process came into Comixology, or publishers would even do that nowadays. Like, you literally would want to be able to, you know, control everything yourself if you could off of your own website, because it seems like there's already precedence for it to be as easy as possible.
Right. And also like you could have subscriptions. You could have subscription, and so you can download unlimited amounts for X amount of money every month.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to sell per download. You can.
No, yeah, I think Marvel and DC do have a subscription like that, but I think it's expensive, where you do get all their books, but I don't even know. You have to. Bob, do you know if you have to wait like 2 months for new books, or?
Well, that's another thing. Like right now, like with Comixology, they're not updating it weekly anymore.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
gee.
Yeah.
Well, that's death right there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like the big article I just pulled up. Is like right there, Marvel digital app not updating in the wake of Comixology layoff.
Oh, gee. Oh.
Because Marvel's app is powered by Comixology.
Well, of course not. Marvel wouldn't want to spend $5,000.
Yeah.
To
So-
the road.
Wow.
With it tanking, everything's tanking. So it's it's a mess.
Yeah.
So what-
New world, man.
Yeah. What's the future of Comixology then? Is it doomed? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone will pick it up. Someone will
Well-
redo it.
No, I think the Comixology catalog is going to be sorting to Kindle.
Yeah.
So I think Comixology, as it is going to disappear, and it's going to be a Kindle service now.
Yeah. Because
So-
Kindle just came out with their new thing is Kindle Scribe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually Kindle Scribe is designed to work really well with manga.
Man,
So if it works really well with manga, it wouldn't be that hard for comics to work on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but like I said, I think the whole Comixology licensing is going to die, and it's just going to get folded into the Kindle.
Yeah.
The Kindle stuff.
Well,
But-
let me see. This was it Danky Frankie says, well, if kids are buying collected editions of manga, then the issue is the quality of the comics, not the business model.
Yep.
indeed.
We've been
it
saying
could
that for
be.
a while.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I think you just have to resonate and connect. Like the problem with comics right now is they're just not really connecting with an audience. And I said this on a live stream, and nobody seemed to really pay too much attention to it. But I think the question really is, like, because people were I think it was with Shane, maybe it was the King show. Shane was having a hard time, and it was about like why aren't the books selling? Why are Marvel and DC doing all this crazy agenda driven stories and character stuff? And I said, I think it's like the 70s when Marvel just threw up their hands and went to the creative people and said, we have absolutely no idea how to sell books, what people want, and you guys do this. And so that's when like a lot of the monster books came out, Ghost Rider, Iron Fist, Werewolf by Night, all of this, Morbius, all this stuff came out at that time, but it wasn't agenda. It was just kind of like they were creatively bankrupt. So they just went, well, we don't really know how to do any, to tap in. So we're just going to let people do it. And it actually worked. I mean, they started creating things that people were interested in and that cared about, and then started buying. The problem is with the stuff they're doing now is it's not, they're not going to the creative team and saying this. I don't think let me back up for a minute. Okay. So what I think they're doing is they're doing the same idea now, but it's with a bunch of people that have agenda on their mind. You know what I mean?
Well,
they're not like trying to make interesting comics or like going, you know what? I have an opportunity to create anything. I can do anything. So this is an idea I have. This is whatever, and just put it out there. Instead, they're doing agenda. And the thing is, it's just not connecting. It's not connecting with anybody. and they're just double downing on it. But what I'm really trying to say is Marvel and DC don't have a clue of what they're doing. They have no idea of how to connect with an audience. So they're going towards this group of people that they think are going to be able to connect with their SJW messaging, their wokeness, their whatever, and they think that that's the way to go. That's my thing.
They're steering the company from what they read off of Twitter.
Yeah, but I mean, Art, when you were talking about, okay, we don't know what to do, and we go to the creative people in the 80s, we have all this cadre of things to pull from, kung fu movies, action movies, sci-fi. Right now, this problem of lack of creativity and lack of basically like creative juices, it's general. There's no good movies anymore. There's no good books anymore. There's no good comics anymore. Why? Because everybody is too busy trying to be a good person and try to, not to offend anyone. So if we go on tiptoes, nobody takes risks. So they're doomed, because right now, if you're at the Marvel offices or at the DC offices, and you come up with a bright idea, someone's gonna pull you down, because then like, okay, you're gonna show me out that I have no talent, and that's what they're dealing with. So there's no pool to pick from, because those guys are just like, I'm a good person. Tell me a story. I'm a good person. Like,
you said there's no good movies or TV, but Maverick was great. The John Wick movies are great.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's The Terminal List is great, because it's all a bunch of stuff where they don't touch on any of the diversity or the SJW stuff.
That's the other thing, Rob.
They just tell stories.
That's the other thing, Rob. Comicsgate is great.
Yes.
So it's our job now, because we're not afraid to take risks. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, Marvel and DC, I'm not wishing them to disappear or whatever, because I mean, who am I to say anything about that? But they're in a complete disadvantage, because they're on that frame of mind. I'm a good person. I don't want to offend anybody. My book has to talk about the trans and the POCs and the POS and how can you do a great story if that's what you're fighting up against? It's impossible.
I think it's a generational thing. I really do believe that the management of Marvel and DC, they don't really have an idea, and so they're just going with these things that they think are going to resonate and connect with a modern audience. But what they're finding out is that they're not really attracting a new audience. They're just pissing off the people that have been loyal to them all these years. And so it's a major crapshoot, because they're not even trying to do like a 50-50 or trying to appease, like get something for everybody. They're just doubling down on the one thing and going in only one direction. And that's the problem. And I've said this about Marvel. Like DC, I don't understand, other than following in Marvel's footsteps. But Marvel has an agenda that could pay off long term, because they have a movie franchise. And every actor that they hire is eventually going to age out. So if they do Iron Man, right? They got Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man. Well, eventually he's going to be too old to play Iron Man, which he probably already is at this point. Okay.
Have you seen him lately?
What's that?
Have you seen Robert Downey Jr. lately?
No.
He looks like an old crone. Like, I'm a vegan, and he's look like.
Well, he's an old guy. Like, you can't. At some point, you can't hide it anymore. I mean, he's a great actor. He'll probably bring it. But the thing is, at some point, actors will age out. Comic books don't have that problem. But when you make a movie, you have that problem. So now Marvel's 10 years into the Marvel universe, all these actors, like even actors that were 30 are now in their 40s. Actors that were in their 40s are now in their 50s, playing these characters. And so it's not going to last long term. So this is what I think happened at Marvel. I have no reason. I've heard nobody say this. I have no reason to believe this, other than this is just an observation. I think what they realized is that this was going to be a problem down the line with the film. And so what they did is they went into the IP farm, which is Marvel Publishing, and they gave a mandate to the editors and the creative people in charge of Marvel. And they said, we need contemporary heroes. We need heroes that are going to take the place of these iconic heroes. And because we need to go the next 10 years now. And so we need a new Iron Man. We need a new Captain America. We need a new XYZ, right? And so then they turn to these guys. And then also, politically speaking or just socially speaking, the landscape's been changing, right? The landscape's been going more like, I don't know, SCW, more politically
They didn't realize who they were asking. When they went to Marvel Publishing, they're like, holy crap, we asked a bunch of English majors who don't like superheroes to make new superheroes for us.
Right. Give us contemporary heroes. And so all they could think of doing, because it is the mainstay of almost everything right now, is to tear down the old, replace it with the new. Like, they don't come in and say, how can we plus the original, right? They don't think like, how could we write cool Iron Man stories and move it forward? They think, no, we have to get rid of Iron Man, replace him with this other character, and then have more contemporary values injected, which is, like woke stuff. It's like, well, the green, the green movement, racism, all of these things that have always, because they always argue, oh, well, this has always been part of comics, political, whatever. Yeah, but it wasn't all there was to comics. You know what I mean? Like,
there were still sci-fi stories.
Yeah, there was, what was it? Denny O'Neill's, Hard Traveled Heroes, which got pretty much into social commentary and stuff like that. But also there were two characters that played both sides, and they never really made a stand. You know what I mean? They never said that Green Lantern's wrong and Green Arrow's wrong. Like, it would go back and forth. Like on certain issues, one would be wrong, one would be right, and back and forth. But now they're saying, like, this is all wrong, this is all right. And you really can't be that definitive. Also, it's very limiting, and it turns off people that liked the old. You know what I mean? They like the old values. They liked, like those old superhero stories where, right is right and wrong is wrong. Now it's like everything's gray area, everything's fighting, politics and racism and, transgenderism and all of these things, which, quite frankly, the majority of people don't give a damn about. They just don't care.
I mean, to that argument that comics were always political, yeah, but they were entertaining too.
But they weren't all. They weren't all.
They were all. They were. I mean, there was. They left room for entertainment, and for action and for story. Like right now, it's all politics. Superman with a sign. Like, why would Superman protest? Like, that's something. Like, he was just like, he just cleaned the ocean. What the hell are you talking about? Superman protesting? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Exactly. You could actually do something.
Yeah, these are also, like, people used to understand, these are characters of action. They're man of action, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Superman's not the kind that he would protest.
No.
Superman's the kind that would go clean up the ocean with a group of people. Like, he would do something.
He also has the idea that he can't become humanity's savior. He's there to show them a better way. He's not there to do everything for them, because if he does, then they'll never advance themselves.
Yeah, and he'll eventually die.
Well, it's just that whole idea that he's not there to be God. He's not there to, to solve their problems for them. He's there to help them take care of the things that they can't take care of.
Yeah,
that's what Superman's role is, and that's why he's never gone into politics and everything, and that's why him being in like his son doing it doesn't make any sense. But also, I gotta take off, man. I'm getting called into work early. So
okay, well that's a great beat, and I'm gonna play off of it. You have a good evening, Bob. Take care.
Yep.
Take care, Bob.
Is that okay? Like, one of the things that was a rule in comic books was you didn't get into that kind of reality, because you never do. Because, like, the reason you can't have, like, superheroes after 9/11 be superheroes, because they could easily end these problems, and these problems are way too complex, and then you negate them, and you actually kind of diminish the reality of these situations because they're way more complex than Superman or whatever could deal with. So the thing is, and it diminishes the real life event. So you can never really play these too much. You can't play them up too much because it negates the real aspects. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's also, we want to forget about that type of stuff. We want, we want to be entertained. Let's see a alien, space force invasion with Superman fighting them. We don't want to be reminded about 9/11 for the 9,000th time. We want to see Lex Luthor face off against Superman or Batman versus Joker. No, and otherwise, it's just like what Bob said. Otherwise, the heroes would just be constantly fixing humanity's problems.
And you can't do that. That's why you don't. Like, I remember when 9/11 happened, I was doing comic books, and there was heavy conversation that we can't have these heroes going after terrorists. We can't really do this because it starts blurring the line in a weird way, and it's never going to play out right. And in a way, it kind of like it diminishes the reality of what really happened.
And there's the element of escapism also. You know what I mean? The thing is, like, I don't read comics to be in contact with reality, and I have a specific example of this. Like, I was living in Colombia in 1993 when Pablo Escobar was still at large. There are bombs going off in the city, and I just went into this comic shop and got 7 issues of Heroes for Hire, and they were like, dude, like they were fighting the Knights of Wundagore, and it's very like cosmic Marvel. That took me away from the horrors of bombs going off. And I really appreciate, like, dude, this is the power of comics. I don't need to see reality completely reflected on comic books because I have reality right in my face.
Right.
And that's
right. And you know what? I think there is a way of doing it. What was that? That TV show called Law and Order, and then their whole tagline was the premise of the show, like ripped from the headlines, right? But what they would do is they would like I remember there was one, they ripped it from the O.J. Simpson headlines, right? And so it wasn't O.J. Simpson, it was a stand-in for it. It was a situation similar to this, but it wasn't that. And so what they did is they played it out in more of like a wish fulfillment way, where the guy didn't get away with it. You know what I mean? So they play on the reality of it, where they give you a happy ever after. They give you a satisfactory ending to like complex things. I'm not saying that this is the answer for everything, but you can make parables. You can make like correlations to real life events, but have it so seemingly removed from it that in its essence it is that, but you don't recognize it as that. Like there's political cartooning, there's like Pongo, what was it called, Pogo? There was like political comic strips, and there were things that were done that you didn't even realize what they were making references to, but they were real life events. And so you can't do that. Like you could do a Guardians of the Galaxy story that's about terrorism. You know what I mean? But it doesn't, it's going to be like a space age terrorist, it's going to be different. And so you can do stories like that. But the thing is, preachy is preachy. Heavy-handed is heavy-handed. And nobody likes that. Nobody. Anybody that says they like it are pretentious turds. Like, nobody likes it, man. What was that one Star Trek that they were like, Save the Whales? Was it Star Trek 3 or
Star Trek 3? Yeah.
4?
Was it 3 or 4? And I was like, what the hell, dudes? Like, this is turning me off. Like, this is so heavy-handed. I can't handle your messaging. Like this is just too much. It's too nose, like hitting the nose. It's too obvious. That it was just, who cares? I don't want to hear this. And like you said, Pedro, it's too based on reality. If you had like these space beings that were kind of like whales, you know what I mean? And they were being hunted and stuff like that. Well, then you can go, okay, it's a fantasy, whatever. And then if you think deep enough, or you hear like the artist talk about it, they go, yeah, we kind of got this idea from, the whaling, industry, and what they're doing to, our ecosystem or whatever. But then it's like, yeah, okay, so what? I like the story, but if it's too nail on the head, then it's like you're just being preached to. And I don't
and it takes you out of the story. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, now I'm supposed to feel something like real life, and so you're bringing reality into this fantasy, and it's just, it's
depressing.
It's just messing up the fantasy of the story. I think Pedro said it the best, man.
Yeah.
Like the best entertainment takes you away from those things. It doesn't kind of dump on you
or amplify.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want.
You're bummed out. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I have a close friend of the family, and he's management at the Disney parks. Like, this guy is like, he's a mover and shaker, right? And so business degree, like, this guy, he's a smart dude, right? Overseas. I don't even want to get into it because maybe people figure out who it is. But anyway, he told me, because he was having a problem with the younger people coming in, and they were challenging his authority, right?
Oh.
And so he was saying that kids coming out of business college and these type of things, what's being taught now is that you don't come into a company and evaluate what's going well, what's not going well, and then you try to, like, accent the things that are, positive, and then get rid of the negative, and then you kind of try to build a stronger, business out of that. Well, what they do now is they go in and they gut it. They gut the business, and then they rebuild. Well, if you don't know the pluses and the minuses, then you're probably just going to repeat the same process. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to make a series of mistakes because you never learned from them. You never saw them. You never observed them. You just went there and gutted everything and then started anew. And
Sounds
I think
like
what's that?
Sounds like comic books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening across the board. I think the newer generation are coming in. They don't respect what was there, what was built, what works, what doesn't work. They just come in and decimate it and then try to rebuild it in what they think is a better image. But what they're doing is they're destroying what made the companies work. All this legacy stuff is just, even Disney, like all these companies, all the legacy stuff it's gone. There's no respect for it.
I could even see how there was the backlash of, remember, with Extreme Studios and Rob Liefeld, and one issue was just one big fight scene. I could see the backlash in comics as a comic book fan and a reader, where the comic books would get so boring and would be so much story. And it was at the same time that they were slowing down the stories for the trade paperbacks, instead of telling writers, hey, just make sure that your 2-issue story or whatever ends in 8 issues. These writers would literally take the one idea they had and drag it out for 8 issues.
Yep.
And it's like, what do you do? You've gone from, it's all about the artwork to it's all about the story, except for there's no story.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no subplots. There's no nothing. I used to kid like Fabian Nicieza, who I worked with, on X-Men and on Cable. And he would have, he'd get one idea. And then if you notice, whatever books came out that month, they all kind of had those ingredients. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what you're saying, Rob. It's like you maximize the a lot of work with the least amount of effort, right?
Or creativity.
Creativity. You have one idea and then you maximize it. Or in the case of when they went long form, like Michael Bendis on Ultimate Spider-Man and stuff like that, where you take, I think it took 6 issues or something like that to get Peter Parker in the costume, right? So he took it long form, and so you got to see almost like a day in the life, 48 hours, like that TV show 48 Hours, right? Which is a brilliant idea for a TV show. It's every hour, but it was every hour of action packed. Yeah, it wasn't we're going to go and I don't know, sit around and have coffee at the coffee shop. This was heightened stuff. So you can do long form, but the thing is, the way that he was doing it, it became very mundane. You know what I mean? It was very boring. I think a lot of people liked it because it felt like it was rooting a character in some kind of reality that hadn't been done before. So it was kind of original in its approach at the time. But just like everything, it has a moment and then it doesn't serve the purpose anymore. People were like, well, I don't like long form storytelling anymore.
I hated it. I hated it from the beginning because I was working on it. And I was like, what are you guys doing? This is the same villain for episode or issue after issue after issue. Why isn't this over in 2 issues? Or why isn't this over in 1 issue? It was weird rubber band effect from the Rob Liefeld of introducing, 3 new characters in every issue, and it's all action and no story. Then it became all story, but like you said, it was it's been stretched. It's not even like they're like, well, dude, man, the characters never stop breathing here. There's no slow spots because it's just story with all this action and all the story. It was the exact opposite. It was, we have one idea and we're going to make it last for 8 episodes, 8 issues. And you're just like I used to tell my DC editors, I'm like, if a story is terrible, when I could just name off 5 different arch nemesis for that character, and any one of them you could have thrown in the book and just had them fight, is more entertaining than the horrible slowness of your book. And they would just go, what do you mean? And I'm like, this book means nothing. This issue means nothing. And this issue means nothing after 4 issues of this means nothing. And now it's all filler because they're just waiting for the next event. Like they told the writer, well, don't really do anything for 4 months because the next big event is going to happen. So you have to be ready for that.
Well, the thing is, when you pick up the Hulk, there's an expectation. You want to see the rampaging Hulk. You want to see him. You want to see devastation. You want to see that guy go off. That's what you want to see.
You want to see Bill?
You guy. Yeah, you want to see the Hulk doing Hulk stuff. But then when you have an issue of just Bruce Banner doing Bruce Banner stuff, like you feel like you got ripped off. Like where's the Hulk? The book's called The Hulk. It's not called The Many Adventures of Bruce Banner. And I remember like I'd go on those Superman summits and they go, how do you make Superman work? Like Superman for a contemporary audience. And I was always like, you don't change Superman. Superman's always that guy. Have Superman do cool Superman stuff. That's really all you need. And if you're worried about him being contemporary, just have the world be contemporary. Just have the same character that has the same values and stuff, and see how he butts heads with the modern sensibilities. Modern villains, all of this stuff. But having him, maybe at times you could have him question his beliefs because they seem out of sync. But always you have those beliefs win out because those are the things that are tried and true. Those are the things that are important. You know what I mean? Like it's really not that hard. But I do think when you come into these IPs with contempt, then you fuck it up.
Okay. All right.
All
right. I have a nice exercise. Okay. If you have to come up with a modern nemesis for Superman,
easy.
What?
Well, step one is you don't even have to come up with a new nemesis. Like they say Superman is too powerful now. Like they're like, oh, look, he's got more powers. Then you juice up his villains. That's all you do is you take his rogues gallery and you make them stronger and more interesting in different ways. You don't even have to new guys.
Or you create Uber Nazi.
Actually, I have a concept for a Superman villain called the Victim.
I like it already.
So whatever you do, whatever Superman does, the Victim's like, oh my God, how could you say that to me? Is it because I'm Asian? Like, dude, you're not Asian. Oh, it's because I'm black. No, you're not.
He's a blue alien saying he's Asian.
Yeah,
it's his
like,
white, or you create a character called White Privilege.
White privilege, yeah.
He gets away with murder.
With murder, yeah.
White privilege.
White privilege.
Yeah, but I just think, like, for me, and I think you're right, Rob, like it's all about the villains. The hero's only as good as his villains.
Yeah.
So if your villains aren't serving a purpose, either you create new, more contemporary villains, or you juice up the old ones. Like you said, you make them like a new threat to the characters. And also there's stuff that you can do with Superman that they used to do that are clever. Like you have Superman, okay? He's Superman. He can do anything, right? But I remember this was a George Reeves TV show, and he's Clark Kent, and he's eating at like an outdoor, like hot dog stand or whatever. And there's somebody that just is going to get hit by a car. I forget the scenario, but he's going to get hit by a car right in front of him. He sees it happen. And then he hears somebody in a building yelling for help. They're going to be murdered, right? What does he do? Right? He can't be both places at one time, even though he's Superman, And so these are interesting dilemmas. I forget how he resolved it, but those are the situations you get him into, right? It's what's he going to do? Even though he's Superman. And the best thing, remember like the Donner film? His father had a heart attack and died. He couldn't save him, right? So even though, Clark Kent, Superman could do anything, he still couldn't save his father. These are humbling things. These are like character building stuff. And those are the stories, man. They're making my, the hair raise off my arms. These are the Superman stories, right? Start tying into those. You don't have to tell those exact stories, but figure out like that's the heart of the character. Those are the kind of cool things you can do with the character.
I think there's a lot of lazy writing that goes on now where when I write, I don't mind painting myself into a corner and I have to think about it to figure out like, oh man, what am I going to do now? I think writers are just like, it's almost becomes a formula where they stay away from the difficult stuff because they know it'll be difficult. They're like, oh, that's going to take too long. I don't want to figure that out. They just, just rip it out. Just, rip out the plot. And it's easier to explain to the editor,
It just keep it simple. And I realize if you're in a monthly rut, it's hard to write book after book. But like even like just with Superman, remember there was the Doomsday character, right? So as far as like the Superman crew they were like, we need a character that can physically defeat Superman. Well, I found it boring. I was like, who cares? I was thinking, to make it interesting, you have to have brains behind it. Like, what if it was Lex Luthor that had something to do with Doomsday, right? What if he was the brains behind it? Then all of a sudden, I think it becomes more threatening than just a mindless character that can physically defeat Superman. Because then, to me, the story becomes, how does Superman outwit this character that physically can dominate him? You know what I mean? Then it becomes a different story because he can't physically beat him. So he has to figure out another way to beat him, which they didn't do in the story. He literally just pummels him, pummels him to death.
And we already have a character who's stronger than Superman. It's Validus. From the Fatal Five. So, it's not like he's the first character to come along who's stronger than Superman.
Well, also, I thought just from a traditional standpoint, you have an arch nemesis, right? And it's like if you're going to take Batman down and it wasn't the Joker, wouldn't you feel ripped off?
Yeah.
Like if you have Superman and what takes Superman down? Oh, this Doomsday character that comes from nowhere, after 70 years of history with this arch nemesis, which is Lex Luthor.
And it's like do with Lex, or it has nothing to do with Brainiac, all of his major villains.
Yeah. Nothing. And I thought like the way Frank Miller handled Dark Knight Returns, where the Joker finally has the last laugh on Batman, where he starts knifing Batman in the Tunnel of Love, right? And you see all the blood, and Batman's just still fighting him. And then he throws the battering. I think he hits him in the eye.
Yeah.
And he basically kind of beats him, but doesn't kill him. and then the Joker just kind of writhes. Remember, like the way he
Kills
described
himself.
it? Yeah, and he kills
So
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like he knows that Batman's going to get blamed for it. You know, he
Mhm.
knows that there's going to be backlash to it. But in a way, it was the Joker's last fu to Batman, and I thought it was brilliant.
Dude, that whole 4 issues is brilliant. You know, and even the stories behind Frank Miller telling the editor, you know, whatever you do, don't let me redo these pages. Don't let me redo the stuff. He'd beg him, and then like 2 weeks later, after he turned the stuff in, he'd be calling him up, going, "You got to send those pages back. Got more ideas. I got to change those pages." You already told me I had a promise I wouldn't send him back. He's like, "You have to." Like, he was just like out of his mind. He was in such a creative spot.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Is It Young Frankenstein where he's locked up. He goes, "I'm going to lock myself in with this monster. No matter what I say, no matter how much I plead, do not open this door. Do not let me out." And then he gets locked in there. He's like, "Let me out! You son of a bitch, let me out!"
Yes. So to know that Frank Miller went through that.
Yeah,
With,
it's funny.
Return of the Dark Knight. You know, you're like, oh, no wonder it was so good.
Yeah,
you know?
it was fantastic. And my favorite thing about that is I believe it was Dick Giordano's idea that he gave to Frank Miller. And he said, "I want to do like a retired Batman." The whole story wasn't plotted out or anything, but he just had that seed of an idea. And he said, "I'm not the right guy to do it." I mean, that's old leadership, right? That's the way you do, you know, he could have taken it. He could have done it. You know, he could even had Frank Miller write it, and then he could have drawn it. But he took himself out of the equation, and that's also the difference. I just don't think there's leadership in this country, in the world at all. I just think there's just a bunch of yes men, people that are afraid of their own shadow and that don't make a stand. And you're always going to get shit, no matter what it is. You're always going to get crap when you have leadership like that.
And they know that they'll make more money by not, you know, being the leader.
Yeah, but it's like what we're doing, Rob. Like, we walked away from DC Marvel. You know, we have decades in there, but we're going in uncharted territory. You know, we're creating our own IPs, and yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it's uncharted. But you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? If we don't do something, then you just stagnate and you go nowhere, which is what these companies are doing. You know, they're just. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that's true. I mean, even with all that time in Marvel and DC, sometimes I look back and go, you know, how many years did I just kind of spin my wheels, just making other people look better?
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of guys with no loyalty at all, like a bunch of foreign artists that are just, they would just move on. As soon as their buddy learned how to hold the pen, they're like, "Oh, he's my new inker." You're like, "Well,
or I'll start inking myself digitally."
Yeah, or poorly or blandly. You know.
Let me get this. I think this is funny. How come Superman never exercises a sense of humor? Why can't Superman be legitimately funny?
Wait a minute. He's not funny?
Well, the thing is, it used to. What was it? It was called a sci-fi action adventure humor. Superman was a humorous title. I think it had those three things. Like, Superman was a sci-fi action adventure humor book. So it did have humor in there.
Didn't he watch the Superman movie? I mean, that was hilarious. The guy that was a jerk to him, who poured the beer over his head, comes out to, you know, drive his truck, and his truck is in the middle of the air. You know, it's sticking up in the air with all those logs.
Dude, that was scary,
dude,
man.
What? Talk about a prank. That's an awesome joke. Like, "Oh, you want to mess with me? Explain this to your insurance agent."
Dude, that was scary.
Dude, that's
and then he just proves his dad right. Like, yeah, Clark, you weren't ready, man. The world's not ready. You know, like the weirdest thing that would be like, this would be the modern day equivalence of like seeing Bigfoot in that film, right? Like, because there'd be photos all over it. There'd be like, how did this happen? Who did this? You know, ancient aliens would be speculating, and all this shit. You know, there's more questions than there's answers.
Micro tornado.
What's
That's what they would explain it with a micro tornado.
Micro tornado.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Kent's like, I told you, son, you can't let your emotions get the best of you. You just tipped your hat that there's a superpowered being on the planet. It's
his dad was dead by then.
Yeah, but still, his dad died in vain then, because his dad, his dad said, no, don't.
Don't use your powers in front of people. And then, 2 years later, a guy pours a beer over his head and he's ramming logs through the guy's semi-truck.
Right. It's like, yeah, Dad, you died for this. I can't handle this guy. Yeah. I thought that movie was just so stupid. I mean, it was just it was full of contradictions and stuff like that.
I mean, it was beyond stupid. It was wrong. It was
you didn't think the only way he could beat Zod was to kill him?
Yeah,
I thought it was a reflection of a darker world.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zack Snyder is probably kind of a dark dude.
I read an article and said that he does not believe in altruism. He doesn't think it exists in the real world. So he thinks that everybody that does something, even if it ends up in destroying them, like to help somebody, they do it for alternate reasons. Yeah, they don't do it because they really genuinely want to save that person. They do it for whatever other reasons, and that is really cynical. And it's not true. Mm-mm. Like I would die to save my wife or my child or whatever. It wouldn't even be in question. You know what I mean? So screw you. And this is not the guy that should be writing Superman either.
No.
He's just another super successful rich guy.
Yeah, the man
he gets all twisted.
Yeah,
gets twisted with this stuff.
But all you guys have heard me just go off on Zach. Zach is in the rear view. So we're moving forward with a bunch of new people over at DC. But anyways, I'm going to shut down. Great show, you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks to all the Pontificators. It was great to have Todd DeWolfid here hanging out with us. Chris Wozniak. Bob, Comic Book Bob. We missed Mel Rooney, the other Todd. So this is a weekly show, you guys, every Wednesday. 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. We hang out and we just talk. We pontificate subjects to death. This was more like a free for all, just like a free form thing. Not a real busy, impactful week. But I'm sure next week it'll be a cluster. It'll be a cluster F, and we'll have plenty of things to talk about. But I think we managed to pull it out. BS for 2 hours. I want to thank everybody in the chat. You guys are the best. Like I said, this is a weekly show. We hope to see you next week on another Pontificators live stream. So take care, everybody. Have a great evening.